Hey, I'm live. Looky there. And someone's waiting. Hello. Welcome to a late Sunday night. I guess it's really not that late for most people. It's late for me because, well, I get up at 4 in the morning, but I was bored, didn't know what else to do. So here I am. Didn't know who was going to be around. So I don't know who's here. All chance. There we are. S&S Smith. Hey, what's going on? Good to see you. Um, Yeah, I don't know how many people are going to be out and about on a Sunday night. County Line Forge, James, what's going on, man? Hey, love that X, by the way, man. County Line Forge, go check it out. Go subscribe if you haven't. Well, I guess if you haven't, you're not in on the X giveaway. But um, yeah, so Richard, good to see you. Wow, all of a sudden there, the thing that just finished posting new video, S&S Smithing. All right, I will go check it out at some point. I'm actually gonna try and keep it down. Let me know if I'm not talking loud enough because like everybody else is supposed to be asleep. Adam asks, "How's it going?" It is going well. Adam, what's going on? I don't know, man. I was bored. I haven't actually been out to fire up the forge all weekend long. Yesterday, I was doing a bunch of stuff um, with the radio station, some charity stuff in town here, and today, I don't know, just wasn't feeling all that great today. So, watched some NASCAR, hung out with the wife and the kids, and I don't know, just got bored and thought before I go to bed, I'll come live and 1:30 in the morning in England. Penny, wow. Late night for you. Well, I'm glad you're awake and welcome to the live stream. Yeah. So, all right. Let me tell you what is going on. Um, I have a Jeep Cherokee, bought it pretty much sight unseen. Now it's giving me hell. Well, of course it is, man. It's a Jeep Cherokee. Jeep anything will give you hell. That's part of owning a Jeep. You got to learn how to fix them up. But they're fun. Once you get the bug of fixing up a Jeep, you're never going to stop. That's all I drive now is old Jeeps. Um, yeah, I'm driving a 1990 Cherokee right now. Trying to get my 95 Wrangler on the road, my 96. Where am I located? I was asked. I'm in Traverse City, Michigan. Well, just outside of Traverse City. I'm actually in a little burg called Kingsley, which is about 15 minutes outside of Traverse City, Michigan. 2001 Cherokee. Yeah, you gotta. Is this too bright? It's like I'm a freaking ghost or something. Um, yeah, 2001 Cherokee. You gotta watch those head gaskets, man. They will go out on you, and it'll be bad. Yeah, and electronics in those the 2000 and 2001s. Hate them. I will never own a 2000 or 2001 Cherokee. But Adam, I'm in North Carolina. I hear it's beautiful this time of year. We're actually my wife and I are actually thinking about moving down south somewhere, Tennessee-ish. Hi, Jason. Hope you're well. It's 1:30 here in the UK. I turned 50 today, so a little drunk, and will not have much to say. Volume levels are a little low. All right, let me get closer because I don't want to talk louder. But now I can't see y'all. I gotta stay back. That sucks to get old, man. Have you done lamination blades on high carbon, on the inside mild, on the outside sand my style? Yeah, I have. I don't know if I have video on it. I'm gonna be doing a blade for one of the things for all my Patreon folks is if you pledge a certain amount, then I'll make you one of those little Ulu herb choppers. And one of the things I got from Heath at Shepherd's Forge was he sent me that box. I think I showed it on one of the videos a while ago of stuff, some cable and some bandsaw blades, and I was going to do a Sanmai style construction for his Ulu chopper thing with the cable on the inside and the bandsaw blades on the outside. That's not exactly mild steel, but it'd be the same kind of thing. But yeah, no, I love the look. Um, if you can get a really nice edge showing on each side at the bottom. I mean, I love that look of the darker when you etch it. The high carbon steel will stay dark, and the low carbon stuff will stay light, much like the 15 and 20 in the bandsaw blades. Yeah. I've been meaning to reach out to you with more advice on the Cherokee. Whatever you need, man. I'm glad to help. Party. South of Charlotte, Gaston County. All right, awesome. I'm in Catabo. James, I can't pronounce that, man. What, don't you have like normal names down there of towns? That's weird. Right down the road from me. Loved the feather and loved the feather Damascus blade. Looked amazing for sure. Thank you, Richard. Yeah, that one was a lot of fun to make. Um, it took forever. It was about a 2.5 week process from start to finish. Now, obviously, I don't do this full time, so 2.5 weeks to me is, I don't know how many hours I decided was in it, um, but it was quite a few. That knife is actually sitting at Way of Knife in Traverse City right now. He's selling that for me. That was just the knife of the day. If anyone's interested in it, I think you could probably still get the deal until, well, maybe through the day tomorrow or something like that. Email Adam, hit me up. Is that directed to me, Adam, or was that directed to James? I think that was directed to James. Jonathan Mickle, what's up, man? Would be cool to see another vid on setting up at a craft fair. Yeah, my schedule this year, I haven't quite finalized it, haven't quite figured it out, but I'm going to be doing less of the same farmers markets. For the last 2 years, I've set up at two. I've set up at one in a little town called Frankfurt, which has a lot of tourist money. And last year, um, early on, I was probably $300 or $400 a weekend, easily on a bad weekend. Some of them were a little more, some of them a little less. And then by the time summer really started rolling around, it just died right off. And so then I was going between two, between this little burg called Frankfurt and a little burg called Interlaken. Um, and I managed to salvage a pretty good year, to the point where I had to pay taxes on it this year. So this year I'm looking at it. I want to do those markets early, but then I think I want to get into some of the fairs and festivals and things like that, as the summer goes on a little bit later, and change things up. I think what happened is I saturated the market. I'm focusing on blades a little more this year too, I think. So that may change things up, but we'll see. Your blades are sick, man. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. That's what it's all fun, man. County is named after the Catawba Band of Cherokee Indians. Okay, well, that's cool. I'll give them that. Starting to make rounding hammers? Question mark. No, I am not. I did the one. Well, I did one. I never did a video on it because, well, it was my first one and it sucked. But I did that one with Dave a few videos ago, and Dave McConnell, and it was fun doing it with him. But he's the hammer master. He loves making the hammers as much as he loves making the knives and everything else. So if you want a good rounding hammer, Dave McConnell at Northwoods Forge. James at County Line Forge. My wife told me I can't buy your feather pattern knife. Well, that's a shame. I actually talked. I work with a girl. I do a morning show on a radio station, and my partner is named Jim, and his girlfriend got a hold of me and said, he wants one of your knives. Can I buy that feather pattern one from you? And Jim is a big outdoorsy, loves, big Bowie knives and things like that. And I talked her out of it because this was a kitchen type knife, and I was like, I don't think he's gonna like it. Let me make him something he'll like. Let me do a big Bowie knife for him or something. And I actually talked her out of it instead of taking the money. Stupid. I've had good luck at farmers markets and S Smithing. Yeah, I had great luck there at that farmers market in Frankfurt early on in the summer. Um, and then I don't know, it just like, it's a big tourist town there. So I think once everybody that visits that town got used to my stuff, it just I lost sales. I didn't do quite as well. I went from an average of $300 or $400 a weekend down to 200, maybe 100. I don't know. I did have one weekend where I got shut out completely, and that absolutely sucks. I hate that feeling. But yeah, I think if I change it up and maybe go once a month, or go every other weekend, or something like that, I think that'll help. Because I also noticed that when people come up and they'll pick up whatever you have. Oh, look at that! Oh man, I don't have the money. You know very well they have the money, but it's like, are you going to be here next weekend? And when I started telling people no, or I don't know, probably not, I got them to drop the cash a little bit easier sometimes. So, um, yeah. Let's see. Good look at farmer. Okay, would totally buy it if I had the money. Well, thank you, Penny. I'd totally sell it to you if I could justify selling it cheaper. Because the other thing is, I'm selling that for 400 through Way of Knife, but I ran the numbers on it, and I'd have to get like 800 out of that knife to justify my time spent on it. And I don't know. I look at it and I see every little problem. We're our own worst critics, right? Um, but that's what I see, and so when I was talking with Marcus, the owner of Way of Knife, and we were discussing prices and stuff, and he's like, "Dude, that looks the same quality as this $800 one from another maker, actually who lives in my town here, in Kingsley, um, who's selling a like a hunter type feather pattern Damascus knife, and he's got $900 on it." And Marcus was like, "It looks the same as that," and I'm like, "No, look at Bill's and look at mine. I can see this." So I don't know. I've got to quit being my worst critic. I think that's part of the problem. Is there a way to make Damascus without welding the pieces together before they go in the forge? Absolutely. Chriswell Blacksmithing asks, the easiest way to do that is to get yourself some stainless steel wire and put your billet together, and then wrap the stainless steel wire around and twist it closed. You can use regular baling wire, anything, coat hangers, something steel, but you run the risk of that steel burning and letting go before you get to the forge welding. So that's why stainless steel is a little better. But you can easily do it. I don't want to say easily. I've had success with it. So let's see. Where are we? Jason Fish. Good evening to you, sir. John Coffey. Hello, sir. That's an estimate. How hard is it to set up a Patreon? Thinking of trying to set one up for my channel. It wasn't hard to set one up. I've had one for years, but I set it up back when I had just the Jeep stuff going. But I never did anything with it. It's finding out what you can do that's going to be a benefit to someone who's willing to give you a couple of bucks a month. For my Patreon, I'm doing completely separate video. Not completely. I will take the YouTube video, and then rather than editing it down to the 15 minutes, or 15 minutes or less, what I aim for on YouTube, I leave every single thing in there, every single product. That feather pattern Damascus, on the Patreon videos, you will see every single issue I had with that thing. And there were several, to the point where the little nub tang that I left on it had cracked, and I had to deal with that. I welded on a piece of mild steel for the handle, and after the heat treat, I ran into some problems with that. I had some problems with the bone bolsters. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I just leave in there that, if I left in there for the YouTube videos, it would make the YouTube videos way too long. And I want to give the Patreon people something worthwhile. You can sign up for only $1, but very few people have signed up for only $1. Most folks are given quite a bit more. So yeah, I want to give them their money's worth. And there's only maybe a dozen, but it's already made up for what I was lacking in the YouTube videos. So hard to set up? No. It took me a long time to figure out what to offer because like a lot of folks are offering um, and I may do this a little bit where you Patreon viewers get to see the videos a few days ahead of time. Part of me says, what's special about that? I'm sure you get to see it 3 days, 5 days ahead of somebody else, but everybody's going to get to see it eventually. I'm trying to give Patreon something that nobody else is going to see. That might be worth the money. Shepherd's Forge. Good to see you, Heath. Hope things are well with you. Hey man, need more stuff in your store. Yeah, I know. It's wintertime here in northern Michigan, and I don't forge a whole lot in the winter. I'm getting old, man. I hate being cold, so um, I will as it warms up. We're kind of getting an early spring. It's going to be in the 40s this week, so I'll probably be whipping some stuff out. Do you make your own forged tongs? Adam Robbins asks. I think that's what he's asking. HOJ, do you make your own forged? I think your own forged tongs. Yes, I forge my own tongs, Adam. I'm not a great tong maker, but I'm also too cheap to go out and buy anybody else's. So yeah, I make them. County Line Forge. Oh, James and Heath. Good. I'm glad you guys are chatting. I think you guys would hit it off. Either dark evening, Jason wanted to say, hey, and let you know I was finally able to get back out and forge again. Made a candle holder for the missus. Handle on. Awesome, man. Hey, that's as long as you had fun, and doing something for the missus is always fun too. Unbox Warehouse. What's going on up in here? Well, it's late on a Sunday, and I was bored, and I just figured I'd see who was around. So here we be, and it seems like a lot of you are around. So cool. I'm having difficulty focusing. When you doing the challenge? 3 quality jobs in so far. I was hoping to do the challenge this weekend. Yesterday, if you missed what I said earlier, I was out doing some charity stuff in town for the radio station where I work, and that kind of took up the whole day. And then later in the evening, I kind of went out and had a date night with my wife. And today, I'm just been a little under the weather. So didn't really fire up the forge. I was hoping to do it today, but it's going to have to wait. So it's going to be soon, but I may have to break it up into like 2 days. I know the spirit of it was do 3 hours, temper, do 3 more hours, but I may have to do like 3 hours after work one day, temper that evening, and then do the next 3 hours the next day. But we'll figure it out. If I can get it done this week, I'll do it this week. Otherwise, it'll be this weekend coming up. Someone just sent me a message on Facebook that I didn't see. So send it to me on here, and then I can read it, right? What's the link to the Patreon? I keep meaning to subscribe to it and always get sidetracked. Now would be the perfect time. I think it's down in the description, maybe. I think I've got it set up to go on there automatically. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. Or go to Patreon and type in HOJ Forge. It should come up. Give patrons a discount on all of your items. Oh, there's a good idea, James. That's not bad. How much is reasonable for a patron? 20%? I could easily do that. That's a good idea. Maycroft's mowing. Hey, hey, how you doing? Do you prefer burning the handle on to making scales for knives? Sasha Popovich. Burning the handle on in like a hidden tang as opposed to a full tang with handle scales. I'm not an amazing woodworker, so the less wood that I have to deal with, the better. So I prefer handle scales just because they're thinner. You glue them on, you put a pin in them, a couple of pins in them, and off you go. I like the style. I like the look of the hidden tangs better because of the guards. and it seems easier to do the multi-construction hand. You know, you can get different woods and spacers and um, all kinds of cool stuff going in with them. So I like the look better. I'm not super comfortable at working with the handles that way. When I do, I try not to burn them on. Um, Once in a while, I mean, I use the drill press coming down, so you know the drill bit's coming down, and there's the handle, and I'll use that like a milling machine kind of thing. Um, Once in a while, if it's like an almost fit, it's almost there, but I just need just a hair more. Then yeah, sometimes I'll burn it on from there, but for the most part, I try to use the drill press to remove as much stock as I can to get it on there. Shepherd's Forge, have you sent those rasps out yet? No rush, just wondering. Heath is the man. When will you get cancer? Call me Daddy 666. When will I get cancer? Well, hopefully never. Doesn't run in my family, so I smoked for years, so who the heck knows? Maybe sometime soon. Nice, friendly, exciting question on a Sunday night. Remove that jackass. I don't. Do I know how to remove that jackass? I don't know. He can ask whatever he wants. I don't care. Call me Daddy 666. You could let me know if you're like one of the ones that keeps giving me the thumbs down on my videos. It's kind of funny. Um, every time I put a video up, there's always that one guy, and now there's like two or three that always go in and give me a thumbs down like right away, and it's really funny. Um, the the funniest part is it doesn't do anything. It only helps me because the logarithm that YouTube uses to rank your videos, it doesn't care whether it's a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It just likes to see the interaction, and so you can give me a thumbs down all day long. It still puts my video up higher in the search list. So I don't care. I was just curious. The lady wife comes first. Good man. They base their discounts on how much they contribute monthly. James, you are a savvy businessman. Gonna have to pick your brain some more. M&S Blaze, what's up, Jason? How you doing? Randy, good to see you. Penny likes James's idea at County Line Forge. So, you know, hopefully I'm seeing a lot of the regulars here. Heath at Shepherd's Forge, um, James at County Line Forge, SNS. So hopefully everybody gets to know each other. I mean, I really try to preach this a lot. You know, we're all a community. I know Tim at Big Dog does as well. And I still encourage everybody, if I haven't said it enough, if you've got a small channel, smaller than mine or bigger than mine, I don't care if you're bigger than me, but if you want to hit my subscribers up, come in the messages, come in the comments under the videos, and say something. Um, and I will do my best to help you. You know, especially if we get to know each other. I do it for the folks that I get to know, you know, especially on like Facebook. Heath at Shepherd's Forge, we yak quite a bit. James at County Line, we're getting to know each other quite a bit. And yeah, I've seen your channel grow. That was like at 30 some subscribers when I jumped on, and now you're at 160, 170. So that's awesome, man. That is some fast growth. And that's what it's all about, is this whole community coming together and supporting one another, and you know, we've all got stuff to learn from each other. Broke my toe. What? Heath? Broke my toe and had a steel brake on my regulator, but did not stop me. 4 vids are uploading. Dude. Sorry about that, Heath. I hope you get better soon. That way you still get your money from your item. Just some may come from monthly contributions. County Line Forge. That's a good idea, man. Although it feels like, I mean, if you're one of the dollar patrons, I mean, that's all it takes to sign up to Patreon is $1, and you get all the stuff. And I'm selling a knife for $400. Does it mean anything to sell it to you for $399? I don't know. It seems like it ought to be. I don't know if dollar for dollar, but maybe there's a way to work that out. Jason69. Hey, Jason and everyone here. Sorry I can't stay, but for a minute or two, It's all right, man. I'm not going to be on much longer. I have to be up at 4 in the morning. I was just kind of bored tonight, so figured I'd see who was around. Wish I could be afford to be a patron here, Randy Nyman says. Um, Randy, if you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. I'm trying to offer something for the patrons, but I'm also trying not to limit what I've done on YouTube up to this point. So, um, if you can't, if you feel like you can be, I don't want you to feel like you have to be. I'm trying to offer something more if you want to be. Um, I really don't want to limit what I'm doing or have done in the past. People who thumbs down suck out of principle. I hardly ever thumbs down vids. I never thumb down vids. If I don't like it, I just don't say anything. Um, but again, it's funny. It just cracks me up, and it doesn't hurt anything. Um, what's up, County? I envy you guys. T-shirts right now. Wish I lived in South. Miss sucks all the bees lean north. What? And okay, that must be a southern thing. John Coffee is here. Yes, he is floating around. Does anyone use washer motor for 2x72 sander? Are they holding up? Motor out of your washer, I don't think would be powerful enough depending on your washer. I'm assuming you mean a clothes washer. I was just in my washer replacing a belt, and that motor looked so tiny in there. I don't know that it would hold up. So I'd be curious if anyone is using it, and if it's holding up too. That'd be interesting. Here waiting on you to hit the on button. Who, me? Do I need to hit a button? Am I not doing something right? Billy, let me know because I don't. I'm on. I don't know. Maybe it's just delayed. And I'm happy to see folks here who don't actually have a channel but are always here supporting. Those are who it's all about, man. Yeah, and not everybody can do a YouTube channel. Not everybody feels comfortable in front of the camera. Not everybody has a camera. Not everybody feels like they have enough to offer in front of the camera. One of the things, it's never been a concern for me just because of where I've come from in life, working in the radio and stuff. I'm not camera shy at all, so that's never been a problem. Whether I have something to offer, I started my Jeep channel just as kind of like a vlog for myself, just so I could keep an eye on what I did over time, to see things, and so it's sort of grown from there. And from that, um, I've never, um, I've never been concerned about whether I had enough to offer or not. I've just offered, and people either like it or they don't. Uh, since the Peabody Challenge channel has grown, yeah, and that's what it's on. Peabody Laws has a ton of subscribers, and he's been more than happy to get the word out to everybody. And I've been a little slow getting the word out to everybody, but yeah, I'm gonna be, um, getting mine up there as well. And everybody's links are gonna be in it and part of the community. David's Workshop, hey man. County Line Forge dollar patron gets a 3% discount. That might be enough. Something to think about, James. You just hit me up with that tonight. I'm not sure what the answer is, but that is a very intriguing idea. I got one bit. Don't know how good they hold up yet, Adam. Oh, okay. You're talking to Adam. Good. Granddad's Forge. If you didn't promote one another, I wouldn't have found half of you YouTubers, and that's what it's all about. I've said all along, I learn more from seeing how people try something and see their mistakes. I learn maybe not more, but just as much as when I watch somebody who has all the answers. That's what I love about Chandler Dickinson, is he's never afraid to leave his mistakes in the videos, and we all learn from that. At least I learned from that. Maybe not everybody, but I certainly learned from it. John Coffey, wish I was good enough for a channel. Love to watch though. You are good enough, man. You are. Again, everybody learns from everybody else. That's 12% off on that knife. Okay, that makes sense. Or $12 off on that knife. Yeah. Says County Line Ford. I'm doing it again. One thing I noticed when I went back and watched some of my other live videos is I don't read the questions. I just sort of answer the questions. And so when you watch the live stream later on and you're not seeing the questions come up, it gets a little confusing. So I'm trying to read. I meant to think more. Anyways, John Coffey. I'm new and have a channel, says M&S Blades. There you go, Martin. Um, that's what it's all about. County Line 4, John the Hand said a patron buys one for a year, you still get your money out of their $1 a month contribution. It makes sense. I'm not really trying to sell my knives to my patrons or my YouTube subscribers. I don't think I've sold anything to my YouTube. Maybe a chopper or two, but no, I just do the YouTube because it's fun to do, and I make a couple of bucks at it, which makes it worthwhile to do them. So. Um, Try the motor from an industrial sewing machine, says David's Workshop. I actually have my grinder set up on my industrial sewing machine table. One of the things I used to do years ago was reupholster furniture, and I've always kept my sewing machine when I had my own shop. I kept the sewing machine because it was always that one thing. If worse comes to worse and I have to fall back on something, I can always fall back on that. The motor on mine, anyways, is only a third of a horsepower, um, which I didn't think was strong enough. So I actually started out with 3/4 horsepower motor out of a furnace, and it worked well. I'm now up to a 1 horsepower motor, the farm duty one from Harbor Freight. And if I had 220 running in my garage, I'd probably go up to a horse and a half or 2 horsepower, just because I can see where it would benefit a little better. John Coffey, I can barely use my phone. Wouldn't be pretty. Doesn't have to be pretty. I'll have to start somewhere. Just saying, John. But I'm glad you're here as a viewer, and I'm glad I see you commenting on everybody else's videos too, because that means a lot. Always thumbs up. I have a plan in mind. Okay. Great. The blacksmithing community share link and channels not so common in this dog eat dog world. Well, it's not, but that's what's really cool about this community. Um, at least the YouTube blacksmithing community is I haven't met anybody that I don't like. Everybody seems to be really cool, and really helpful and down to earth, and I don't know. I dig it, and I dig it more than I dig the Facebook blacksmithing communities where all the experienced guys just want to sit there and chew your butt for something you did wrong. Um, it's like a whole different mindset. Everybody seems a lot more encouraging from the YouTube side of things. Grayson asks, John Coffey, anything you can share is good. My problem is I don't take time to record, plus I don't have a PC to edit so much. We can all share and learn. Yeah, I mean, if you can't edit it, you have to get creative in where you pause the video and things like that. But, it might be worth trying. Who's to say? What I got is three quarter horse and decent size. Like I say, I started with a 3/4 horse, and I'd still be using it to this day if it hadn't, crapped out on me. Anyone else having a hard time hearing him? I'm sorry. I don't know where my microphone is. I'm trying to keep it down a little low because everybody else is sleeping in the house. So I will move a little closer, and hopefully you can hear a little better. Oh, but most people aren't hearing. I use a treadmill motor and controller for my 2x72, and it works great, says Richard. That is one of the plans I originally had for mine. And you see like free treadmills everywhere on Craigslist, except when I was building my grinder, I could not find one single one, and so I ended up going with that motor I got. I got it for like $15 off Craigslist. But yeah, if you can find a treadmill, I've heard good things, especially if you leave the controller on so you can control the speed. I went with a step pulley. which I almost never use because it's kind of a pain in the butt. But if you had a knob that could control the speed, I think that would be cat's meow, man. M&S Blades says Big Dog is trying to put together some kind of community of Smiths. I think here on YouTube. Yeah, Tim at Big Dog is. I mean, he's same mindset. We all got to be in this together. In fact, he's doing something with Split Cross or something for charity or whatnot. I don't know. I know I said I'd be a part of it. I wanted to be a part of it. I'd love to be a part of it, helping out. But Tim's the man. Sounds like a cool setup with the treadmill motor, says Drayson. They can be. There's some great YouTube videos out on there. Hey, speaking of Tim at Big Dog Forge, there he is. We were just yakking about you. Mark, good evening. Always felt I wasn't good enough to make it. This is Shepherd's Forge. Always felt I wasn't good enough to make a vid, and then I realized it could be for me and others just starting. Make the vids for you and keep posting them. You got to start somewhere. If you wait until you are perfect at making a video, you will never post a video, right? So just do it. Very close challenge. Some of the Southern boys got their shit together. Nice. Have you joined YouTube blacksmithing page on Facebook? If you're asking me, yes, I have. If you're asking other people, I think they should. There is that what it's called? Blacksmithing? YouTube blacksmithing on Facebook. Maybe I'll try to remember to put a link in the description down here later on. But yeah, it's a YouTube page for YouTube blacksmithers, and it's not like the other blacksmithing for beginners or all those other ones where you get the jerks chiming in. It's all just YouTubers, and I guess you don't have to have a YouTube blacksmithing channel. It just has to be a YouTube channel. So if you have a YouTube channel at all, if you don't, throw up a video. Boom, you got a YouTube channel, right? Chandler is great too. Learn a lot from both of you, says JJ Pete Press. I think that's how you say it. Yeah, Chandler's fantastic. I love Chandler. My wife and I are thinking about driving down to Tennessee. We're going to be looking for some property down there coming up. And I'd love to kind of shoot over to New York and visit him in his shop there. I think that would be awesome to see you set up there. If you're not making mistakes, you're not learning, says Rick Hunt. Absolutely. That's what it's all about. And watching videos from people who are brand new at forging. They're making mistakes that maybe I haven't made yet. And I've been forging for a few years now. But learn from everybody. Learn from their mistakes. Learn from the way they correct their mistakes. There would be no... If there were no mistakes, there would be no interventions. There'd be no interventions either. There'd be no, the industry would cease to exist. There has to be a mistake. There has to be a problem for a solution to present itself. And that's where new ideas come from, new thought processes, new innovations. That's what I was trying to say. So I say do it. If you can. If you're not camera shy. I mean, if it's going to make you uncomfortable, don't do it. But Backyard Bladesmith, hey man, how you doing? Everybody getting Tim, are you trying to put together something on YouTube for all of us? That was for Big Dog, yes, I know. His name's Tim. Been playing with copper over the cold Shepherd's Heath. Sent a pic to Daniel Moss on Arrowheads. Hope I get a shout for it. I hope you get a shout for it too. I don't know what you're talking about, but I hope you get a shout for it. I'll give you a shout. Grayson69, shout out. But I'll never make a hat like yours. I love that hat, Tim. If you decide to sell that, I know you said that was your practice one. If you decide to sell your practice one, I want it. That would be like the perfect hat to wear at the craft shows and stuff. I wear my cowboy hat now. I'd love that hat. Yeah, I got a 3 horsepower motor from a treadmill. It's got a counterweight on one side that's good for 6 inches across, about 7 inches wide. It's going for my new, okay, 3 horsepower. That should be plenty, Billy. You will not have a problem with that. Never too early or late to start a channel. I've been forging for about 6 years and just started a channel a year ago. Very helpful and just fun. So there's another one, S&S. If you haven't checked out his channel, go check it out. To all my subscribers, I mean, I don't tell any of you to subscribe, but I do encourage you to go check out other people's channels and subscribe if you think there's something to learn from them. Which I think, can you go in and see other people's subscribers lists? If you can, I mean, you can see who I subscribe to. I think I subscribe to just about everybody. If I don't, the more I learn, the more I find, the more I subscribe to. Messages to Tim. They're coming fast and heavy, Tim. Hopefully you can keep up. Trayson69, sorry, I would rather hang out, but mandatory overtime again next week sucks. I will let stream play through HOJ watch time. All right, man. Well, it was good to have you here for a little while, and hey, overtime. Hope you're getting extra money for it. BigDogForge@gmail.com is the email. Is that your email, Tim? Billy Martin is asking. County Line Forge. I'm soon going to be wiring my shop with 220 just for upgrading my grinder motor. If I wasn't thinking about moving in a couple years, I'd seriously be putting 220 in that garage out there. There's so much I'd love to do with more power, but because we're thinking about selling this house and heading out as soon as my one daughter's graduating this year. My middle son is a freshman, and as soon as he graduates high school, we're thinking about going down, and then the two younger ones are just going to have to deal with it, right? All right. Sent you some steel. I can't wait for you to try, Tim. Small Jaws of Life. Oh, cool. All right. I'm sure Tim will be doing a video on that stuff, John. That would be awesome to see. I use gloves when forge welding and on my tongue hand when using my gas forge and get hot stuff out. I use gloves way too much, according to other people, but it's always cold here. That's me. I wear them because I'm cold, not because I'm worried about the heat. I don't like being cold. I don't face crook. Hope someone comes up with something on YouTube. Okay. You need longer tongues, says Tim. That's funny. County Line Forge. Forge scale goes a long way and burns like hell. Yes, it does. That's why I can't get my teenage son out in the garage anymore, because the first time he got burned by forge scale, he was like, I'm done. Bye. Shepherd's Forge, your video's not playing, just a black screen? What? County Line, I just watched your 3 hours, was pretty intimidating, says Martin. Yeah, James did a fantastic job, man. So yeah, I knew everybody was. Once you get past the intimidation aspect, I think everybody's going to do a great job. Except for me. I plan to totally screw it up. I really want to try doing something different and unique. I was thinking maybe an integral guard or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to play around with it. Martin, Jason, when you gonna do you? Your 6 hour. I was gonna do it this weekend, Martin. Yesterday I had some things I was involved with. Today I just have been a little under the weather today. It was my plan all week to do it today, and it just didn't happen. So I'm either going to do it, break it up into a couple of days, where I'll do like 3 hours one day, temper it overnight, and do 3 hours the next day. Um, because I think that'll still be in the spirit of everything. And that's actually how they do it on Forged in Fire, anyways. It's a 4 or 5 day filming process that they make it look like they do all in one day, but it's not. Um, so I may do that. If not, if that doesn't work, then it'll just have to be this weekend coming up. County Line did good in the challenge. Scary stuff. County Line did excellent. Laz at Peabody did excellent. Everybody's doing excellent. Jason, what kind of music do you play at your radio station? I work at a classic rock radio station right now. So Zeppelin, Aerosmith, the Stones, the Who, the Oyster Cults, classic rock. Um, is that my favorite kind of music? No, I'm more of a good old boys country kind of guy. Southern rock country, I guess you could say. Um, if it, that's I'd love to be working at a radio station that played that. But like even the country stations up here are all into this pop. When I get home, I've got the country station on in the Jeep as I'm driving home, and I hear a song and I'm going, that doesn't sound country to me. And I walk in the house and my wife has the hit music station on, the little T-bopper station, and the same song is on. To me, I'm done. So I haven't actually turned the country station on in quite a while because I'd rather just listen to the stuff I know I like. Who do I like? Trace Atkins, um, Brad Paisley, stuff like that. All right, move to North Carolina. I'm moving to Tennessee. Actually, I just want to move somewhere warm. Winters are. I am so tired of winters. I'm moving somewhere where winters are not quite so harsh. Tim asks, when are you going to do your 6 hour challenge? I will explain again. Hopefully within the next day or two. I was planning to do it today, Tim. I was just a little under the weather, and didn't actually get out to the forge to fire it up. So if it stays in the spirit of the challenge for doing 3 hours one day and 3 hours the next day, I'll do it that way. If the challenge, if the spirit has to be 6 hours all in one day, then it'll have to wait till next weekend because I just don't have an extra 6 hours every day. But that's my plan, to do like 3 hours maybe tomorrow, and then temper it overnight, and then 3 hours the next day. If that stays in the spirit of the challenge. He won't move to North Carolina because of auto inspections, and I don't blame him. Well, I drive old Jeeps. I didn't know there were auto inspections in North Carolina either. Um, I know in Tennessee there are in some counties, but most counties still not. Like here in Michigan, I can drive my Jeeps around and you can be blowing smoke all day long. No one cares. But in some states, they care. And I don't feel like driving newer vehicles. I like old vehicles. Auto inspection sucks. It does. Pick up PD Animations, HOJ. Yes. HOI. Oh, HOI. I don't know what that means, but hello. Next Saturday is the big challenge for me. Tim is doing his next Saturday. Okay. County Line Forge, nice blade for not being a bladesmith. Yeah, James at County Line did an excellent blade. Held up to the challenge better than I think mine's going to hold up. Jason, freeze your bottle of water. I saw Peapody, Laz do it. He had that hunk of ice, and he was having a problem keeping that there. So I was thinking rather than like one hunk chopping 5 times, I'd do, get a 2 liter bottle of pop, an empty one and fill it with water and just do 5 2 liters, and lay them down. So that way I could just do 5 like that rather than one trying to chop it 5 times. If that works. Again, I'm just trying to stay within the spirit of the competition. Do you like the band The Cure or The Smiths? I love The Cure back before the Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me album. After that, I thought they just got too poppy. And The Smiths, I listened to them in high school for a long time when you're a depressed teenager and, you want the world to know you're miserable. I listened to them for a long time. I wouldn't say I'm still a fan, but I was a long time ago. I listen to classic rock while I'm forging. See, I listen to country while I'm forging. That's funny. Gotta go take care of the youngest. Take care of all. Martin, all right. Good to see you, man. God bless you too, my friend. And I'm looking forward to making my first knife, still building my sander and gas forge. Get on it, Adam. Get on it. I love listening to Pink Floyd when forging later on. See you, Martin. Pink Floyd's great. 70 and 80s rock. Awesome. Good stuff there. Metallica. Cool. Okay, Tim. Good to see you too. Take care, my friend. Adam Robbins, 95 and below, only safety inspection here. So where's that, Adam? Is that North Carolina? Because that's I'm driving a 90 right now, and my 95 Wrangler will be my next daily driver when I get that one on the road this summer. So it's an honor system, and I'd call you an honorable man. Well, thank you, Heath, and I I don't think anyone would ever accuse me of cheating, but I don't ever want to give the I don't want it ever to be a thing where it looks like I've been. So again, there's no prize money up for anything. I mean, that's just bragging rights, and I think there are already better knives that have been made just in the first few people that have done them that I'm gonna get. But it's still gonna be fun, and I'm gonna try it, and I want to try something cool and different and new. And I mean, I know what I can do in 3 hours. I want to try something that I don't know if I can do in 3 hours. They closed all the emission checks in Ohio a few years ago. That's awesome. I'm not moving to Ohio though. Still too cold. Gotta be south of Ohio. CCR for Penny Brown. Penny, that's awesome. Oh, Southern Rock. Well, you're in the UK. Love it. Man, you got this challenge, Jason. If I can do it, I know dang well you can do it. Well, I know I could too. I mean, that's sort of why I said I'd go on the show to begin with. But I also want to challenge myself to do something that I've never done before, have done rarely. I've done an integral guard before, but it took me a long time. So I think it would be a lot of fun to try to see if I could do that. Because I mean, I'm gonna try and break it down to my 3 hours forge time, and then heat treat right before tempering, so that that 3 hours is done. Boom, it goes into tempering. Um, I don't want it to be 3 hours and 45 minutes of forge time and 2 hours and 15 minutes of finishing time. Um, because I don't think that's in the spirit of it. That's definitely not how the show does it. And I'm kind of trying to stay true to the show. And so I want to do something that I don't know that I can do in 3 hours. I know I can do a knife in 3 hours. I don't know how good it would be, but I mean, I think it'd be good. But I want to try something that I don't know that I can do because I think that would be more fun. Have you thought about doing the Warped Blacksmith Challenge? SNS Smithing asks. I don't know what the Warped Blacksmith Challenge is. Warped Legacy. I see him do. I watch his videos. I see him post the different things. I've never actually sat down and looked at the challenge ones. I watch his other ones, so maybe I should. I have never tried an integral guard. I wonder, do I have it handy? This thing is sold, but it's still here for some reason. But I mean, I was thinking something like that I did on this Wakazashi type thing. Um, this one just took me for flipping ever, and I think if I tried to do it again now, I could do it quicker and faster. So maybe something like that. That's what I was thinking in my head. County Line Forge. I've only made maybe 29. I'm more of an ornamental blacksmith that can make knives. That's cool. I started out making knives. I got into blacksmithing because I wanted to learn how to do the Damascus knives, and suffered on the ornamental stuff. When I went to do the shows, I was having a big time struggle just making S hooks and bottle openers and all kinds of stuff. And so after making knives for a couple of years and being pretty good at it, to the point where I had started selling and things, um, it, I had to go back and relearn. I had to unlearn a lot of bad habits I'd gotten into and relearn how to smith in a lot of ways. And I'm still not a great blacksmith. I'm a much better blade maker than I am a blacksmith, and I'd like to be a much better blacksmith as well. But we'll get there. It's all learning. You can do the first Damascus knife. I thought about doing that, but the one thing Peabody was saying is for the folks that are just kind of getting their feet wet at the whole knife making thing. We don't want to be. I don't want to do something that would be discouraging. I don't want to do something to say, well, yeah, you can do that in 3 hours, but look what I can do in three. I don't. So he's talking about, as the challenges grow and get more complicated and harder, the Damascus is already going to become a part of it. So so yeah, I thought about it, but I don't think that would be in the right spirit of it. Um, Penny Brown would love to see you do a timing chain, motorcycle chain, or motorcycle chain Damascus blade. Um, I'd love to do one too. I have not had much luck with the bigger chains. The chainsaw chain, I get those from the scrapyard every time I can find them, and I love working with them. The bigger chains, I've tried some timing chain, I've tried some motorcycle chain. Those might be the two that I've tried, and I did not have much luck with them. So maybe it's time to try again. It's been at least a year and a half since I tried a timing chain. Thanks for a live feed, always fun. I've stepped up my vids to show what skill hop those who watch like it. I don't know what you were trying to say there, Heath, but yeah, I'm more than happy to do the live feeds, and it's cool that a bunch of you were hanging around on a Sunday night. That was fun. Warp Blacksmith Challenge is a group on Facebook. Twan puts up a new challenge every month. All right, I will check that out because that might be kind of fun to get into. County Line, I make Damascus often, just not for blades. I'm thinking of a Damascus axe soon, though. That would be cool. I did one Damascus tomahawk, and it was so much steel. It took like, I want to say 50 hours to put that build together, just because it was such a huge amount of steel. And then the guy ended up backing out on the sale, and I ended up losing money on that thing. And that was the one project that made me quit taking custom orders. Was that thing? So the next Damascus hatchet I do will be for fun and not for an order. Jason, shoot me your address. I got piles of chains I can hook you up with. Oh, awesome. All right, James. Yeah, I will. After I get done here, or just about to wrap up, I'm going to be heading to bed. But I will shoot it to you sometime tomorrow. My guys burn them up often. Awesome. Yeah, I would. I love working with it. There's something fun about it. I don't know. That there's something just taking all those little bits and putting them all together to make a knife is just fun. I just want to see it done. 6 hours is a short amount of time for Damascus itself, let alone a knife. Also, um, can be depends on what you do with the Damascus John Coffee. If I and it depends on what you consider Damascus. If I just took 7 layers of steel, put them together, fold them, forge them flat, stretch it out, make a knife, it's going to be no different than if I took a bar of steel and stretched it out. The forge welding heats are going to flatten that out. So that's going to be a 7-layer Damascus billet. It's not going to be anything special. Now, you get into the folding of it, you get into the twisting of it. Sure, you start doing more stuff to that billet, and it starts taking up more time, and you lose more steel. And so, I mean, how quickly can you put enough steel together to do a big knife if you're going to put twists in it and all this other stuff? So, there you go. Hey, can you mail to the UK? Penny, are you asking James? Probably. John, I agree. Spring steel for this challenge, though. Maybe later. Um, yeah. Oh, okay. For the challenge, you're saying. Yeah. Maybe that'll be one of the challenges coming up. Is chainsaw chain Damascus or something like that. And that's the challenge. Spring steel doesn't like to stick to itself. It doesn't. I have some problems with it. I've gotten to the point where I'm okay at forge welding spring steel together. So just clean steel, enough flux, and the right temperature, and it'll work. You start getting a little off in any of those, and leaf springs get goofy. Anyways, look, we've been going for over an hour, guys. So I think we need to wrap it up, and I'm gonna go hit the hay and get some sleep because I got to be up early, and I will try to get that challenge knife done this week, and then more videos. I've got some in mind just on some blacksmithing, and then I've got a knife I'm doing for a coworker, and I don't know. There's gonna be some good stuff coming up. Well, we'll have some fun. Have a great week. Passing out. All right, go pass out. Get some sleep. Haven't been able to get more than a couple inches to stick at a time. Yeah, it's finicky. It's tricky, but um, again, clean steel, the right amount of flux and the right heat. Um, and if you get off on any of those, the other thing is once it goes wrong, there's no getting it back. At least for me. If I go to forge weld it and it doesn't work, if it doesn't stick that first time, then I don't sit there and try to chase it. I pull them apart, grind the surfaces clean again, and start over. So, James, talk to you, man. Good to see you. Yep. John Coffee. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. I will catch you guys next time. Thanks. It was kind of fun hanging out on a Sunday night. So have a great night, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.